Yeah, Silent Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Lisaga. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Lisaga. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. About to raise the bar, wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk, Modelo Lisaga. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card bar, we about to raise the bar. Wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk, Modelo Lisaga. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar, ayy. Wild card mar, wild card mar. I.O.W. late night sports. Wild card mar, wild card mar. I.O.W. late night sports. Wild card mar. Wild card mar, I.O.W. late night sports. Wild card mar, wild card mar. I.O.W. late night sports. Hey.
Give me a second, let me light up real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to the I.O.W. Sports Late Night Hour Edition, hosted by Mr. Modelo himself. You already know the name by now. You know what I'm saying? Wild Card Mar. You already know the vibe. Pull up, let's go.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody doing today? It's your boy Wild Card Mar in the building. Jersey boy MJ is gonna join me in a second, and he's gonna give me the thumbs up when he's ready. But y'all know what it is. Hey, he's ready. There he is. Jersey boy MJ. What's up, pimp?
What up? What up? What up?
Man, I can't call it. How's everything, man? Did you have it? I had a great Taco Tuesday. I didn't cook tacos today. We just got some from a restaurant. But man, yeah. How was your Tuesday, bro?
Today wasn't too bad. Had what I had for dinner? Beer battered fish with some rice-a-roni, some chicken rice-a-roni.
Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat.
Something simple, you know what I mean?
Ain't nothing wrong with them rice-a-roni. Hey man, hey, I've been working in the kitchen.
That's one of my favorite go-tos, man. Is fucking rice-a-roni, bro.
Hey, I can't complain, man. I've been cooking in the kitchen for like 18 years, and sometimes rice-a-roni. When I get home, I've been working for so many hours, and I don't want to cook, man. Sometimes I throw the rice-a-roni on. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No.
Nah, and it go good when you got like some good chicken or steak or something like that. Still be popping. So don't be throwing shade on rice-a-roni if y'all don't eat rice-a-roni out there. Don't be acting all bougie and shit. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But as always, gotta show some love.
I can eat that shit for a meal, bro.
Well, rice-a-roni by itself?
Hell yeah, I could if I really wanted to. You know what I mean? I love that chicken rice-a-roni.
I mean,
I could eat it as a meal if I
need some protein to go with it, though. I need some protein to go with it.
Oh, I agree, but I'm just saying if that's all I had at the time, I could eat the whole fucking thing by myself.
Hey, trust me, dog. Hey, I didn't survive off of these struggle meals, man. I ain't even gonna cap, bro. I didn't get this so belly. I didn't get this so belly for nothing, so I had to earn that. But no, as always, make sure y'all tap in with my guy 40 Silent Hill TDS. See it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. He made that dope intro for the show, so y'all make sure y'all tap in with him. All right, y'all make sure y'all do that. Do it. And then while you're over there on YouTube, Tap in with us. You see all our social media network on the bottom of the screen. I.O.W Sports Network on Facebook. I.O.W Sports Network on Instagram. I.O.W Sports 1 on Twitter. And I.O.W Sports Network on the most important part, the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word what we got going on. And y'all know what it is. Hit that bell notification. Let you know every time we drop content. And of course, you want to chop it up with one of us personally, KC Wildcard Mar on the Twitter, and Jersey Boy MJ on the Twitter. And that's Jersey with his. Yeah, I like it. I like it. But man, y'all know what it is, man. It's another episode. It's episode 350, and as you see, hey man, so let's get to it. Let's just get to it. All right. For those who stayed up, 2:00 my time, 3:00 MJ's time on the East Coast. I'm in Central Time, and midnight for those who are on the West Coast, regardless of whether you are in the States. If you stayed up and watched the U.S. women's team, I got to be honest. And MJ, this sounds familiar because I said this last week. U.S. women, man, they played uninspired. They looked like they were very lax. They weren't on a tip-top shape. They looked like they was, lollygagging, if you ask me. I mean, quite honestly, it got so bad that I stayed up and I probably watched all the way up to probably like the 65th minute. But they were playing so bad and so boring to me. And I dozed off, and then I woke up probably like a couple hours later once the baby woke me up, and I kind of saw the results. I was like, well, damn.
Look. Yeah, I woke up to the results, and I was like really? Okay.
And here's the thing, MJ.
That ain't gonna get you past the next round. I'll tell you that.
And that's my point. Because here's the deal: there's a lot of people who are, up and going. Well, they got through the knockout round. I'm like, that's cool and all.
They should have. They were expected to. Yeah, they're the number one team in the world, right?
That's what I'm saying. You're the number one team in the world, so expectations are already high, and we've already talked about that, and we already mentioned that. What my expectations are with them is, win the damn thing. I mean, you won the last two in the last 8 years. It's a four. So every 4 year type of situation, you won the last two. All right. So for 8 years, you've been the top dog. You've been the mark of everybody around the world are trying to compete with you, trying to beat you. And like on some real, man, I can't even lie, dog. I was so disappointed with the way that the women played. I mean, in group play. So they get 1 win, 2 draws. And my thing is like, y'all almost messed around and got bumped out the knockout, bumped out group play. I mean, for those who don't know,
sounds more like Mel's threesome.
Yeah, with his left and right hand. Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like he gets the win, and then he gets the 2 draws. That's a 2-1.
Hey, but this is what happened. One of the bigger plays. So I'm gonna set it up for you. It was another opportunity, of course, by Alex Morgan. Wasn't able to get the ball on goal, and then this is what happened next.
Hit those pass ahead, headed forward. Look out there! A break, a shot off the post.
And as soon as this ball popped out for Capetta, and she was in behind the back line, we thought this was toast for the United States. This one pings right off the post. Alyssa Nair goes to ground. I don't think she gets anything on that.
And that was that close. I need people to. This is why I'm upset with the ladies. Is because you were that close to sitting home, packing your bags, packing your shit up, leaving New Zealand in Australia where the World Cup is being hosted at, and you was about to go home. For real, you were that close. The post saved your ass. All right, let's call it what it is. And there's no way around it. There's no other way to fabricate it, other way to put a name on it, label it, whatever. The U.S. women just did not play good. They just didn't. And it wasn't just me. But MJ, I've been saying this the whole group play. Like, I know they won against Vietnam, but I was like, they still left a lot on the table, and it wasn't, it was Vietnam. It was supposed to be them. But they had all opportunities against Netherlands, only got one goal. They had all the opportunities last night or early this morning against Portugal, and couldn't get squat. So my thing is I can understand if I'm saying that, but here's a reputable person and people. So Carly Lloyd and Alexi Lawless, I'm gonna play a couple of their audio clips and what they had to say about
Lloyd, New Jersey's finest, Rutgers.
Yeah.
Alexi Lawless, Rutgers.
We should be expecting to see from a team that survived Portugal and survived to get to the round of 16. I appreciate them taking care of the fans, but let me tell you, Carly Lloyd's butt would be back in the locker room kicking things, throwing things.
I have never witnessed, and just seeing these images for the first time right now on the desk, I've never witnessed something like that. There's a difference between being respectful of the fans and saying hello to your family, but to be dancing, to be smiling. I mean, the player of the match was that post. You were lucky to not be.
Oh, that's great.
So tell me where the lie is at. I'll wait. Look, and for those who can see the clip on visual on YouTube or anything, after the match, you see a sense of relief from the players. They're signing autographs, taking pictures with fans in the stands, and I can understand what Carly is upset about. And here's why she's a reputable person to have this, constructive criticism of the team. Do we not forget she was part of those last two championships?
Yep.
So she's been in that locker room. She know what it is. My thing is there's been people on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, social media, they going at Carly Lloyd and saying, "Oh, hey, you're taking this out of context. You're being you're being outrageous. You're being overboard." And my thing is like, you are the number one team in the world, and
Say
you
that
play
again.
number
Say
one
that again,
team
right?
in the world. We ain't talking about just the States. We ain't just talking about North America. We talking about the world. You number one, and you were expected to win this joint again. Hell, you at least expected to be in a championship match. So when you don't play up to your performance, don't play up to what you're supposed to do, you don't play up to your ranking, it should be talked about. It should be criticism like that coming from her. And she had another piece to say, and it might shed some more light onto the situation, but she has some more points that she brought up that were good.
I'm just, you never want to take anything for granted. You put on that jersey and you want to give it everything you have for the people that came before you, for the people that are going to come after you. And I'm just not seeing that passion. I'm just seeing a very lackluster, uninspiring, taking it for granted, where winning and training and doing all that you can to be the best possible individual player is not happening.
She got a point, MJ. If anybody's seen these last three matches from the U.S. in this World Cup, you would have the same take. I've had the same take.
Yeah, the only game I didn't catch was this morning's game, for obvious reasons. But I caught the first two, and Netherlands, like I said, they played them in the World Cup final 4 years ago, but still, dominated them. And only got one goal.
Yeah. Definitely
Vietnam.
Second half. Yeah.
Vietnam ain't been shit since the war. and you only beat them 3-0. I mean, yeah, you won 3-0, but
man, they could have had something more. And maybe I'm expecting too much because when you leave stuff on the table in a victory, it shows me of points in the game that you weren't playing crisp. You weren't playing to your potential. And then you do it again in the second game against Netherlands, which is a stiffer competition. And not only do you draw, you had lackluster defense. They scored the first goal in like the first 25 minutes of the game. And then you played catch up for the rest of the game. Now, second half, you shut them down. They couldn't advance the ball into your zone. I get it. But have that energy throughout the whole game. throughout the whole game. You got to. And just last night, it was very. I hate to say it, man. It was pathetic. It was pathetic.
Don't say you hate to say it. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That they played obviously like they didn't play like the number one team in the world last night.
They didn't, man.
That's the bottom line. Like I said, I didn't see the game, but from what I've read about it and the highlights I've seen.
Hey, trust me, man. If you would have stayed up, you would have been mad as hell like me and probably would have went to sleep at some point in the game because you're just like, these cats is like these ladies are just blowing it. And you almost got sent home. And so to me, it is a big deal. It is a big deal.
I would have got sent home from work because I would have been cranky as shit with no sleep, especially with Sean getting up at 5:30. If I would have stayed up, that game would have been on. Or What time did? Let's see. It came on 3:00 my time, so it would be done by what? 5:30, I guess. 5:30. Yeah, I would have had absolutely no sleep. Yeah, and then go to work. Nah, man.
But listen to what Alexi Lawless had to say.
You heard what I said before, right, Marcus?
I didn't think that Vlatko Andonovski and company could repeat another 45 minutes like we saw against the Netherlands, but evidently not only can they repeat it, but add another 45 because this was 90 minutes of poor play. And you can get together and you can sing Kumbaya and talk about what you've done in the past, but this is where this team is right now. And this is a team that is struggling. This is not a team that is going to the round of 16 with any type of momentum or confidence, but this is still the number one team in the world. And there are going to be a lot of people that are doubting this team. There's going to be a lot of criticism. And I think it's absolutely fair, but it is still all to play for. And there are still things that can happen. But there have to be massive changes from a practical perspective on the field and from a mentality perspective on and off the field.
Hey, man, say what you want. Those are two reputable opinions that are having a lot of opinions that a lot of people like me are having. It's fair to be critical of their play. It was trash.
You heard what I said before about Alexi Lawless, right?
What's that?
He went to Rutgers also.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Jersey and but I mean,
yeah.
I just don't understand the criticism that Carly Lloyd is receiving because she kept it real. She kept it honest. Like to me,
she been there, she done that. She's got the accolades, she's got the record, she's got the notoriety. She has everything with women's soccer, along with like Mia Hamm and Brandy Chastain, Abby Wambach. She has that clout. So if there's anybody that's going to speak on the women's team, she has, I would say, out of anybody, the voice to be heard.
Oh, no doubt.
You know what I mean? Like, if she's criticizing you, she's criticizing you for a reason. She ain't gonna rip you if you guys are fucking playing good. She's letting you know, like, listen, ladies, like, there's nothing to celebrate here. You didn't win. You had 2 fucking ties, and one of them was 0-0.
And this is why, to me, why it matters is because what Alexi Lawless said. This is a team going in with no momentum, no juice, no energy, and they're gonna have to find it because in the knockout round you can't play like that. The last 2 games that they played, you can't play like that in the knockout round. You'll get sent home. You will be on the first plane ticket back home to the U.S. You play like that, and I get it.
Stop off, see the kangaroos and shit real quick, and then get your ass home.
Hey, go get your Foster's beer. Them big old cans and guzzle it down, and then get your ass on the plane. But
like I said, go feed a kangaroo.
Hey, but be careful.
Try to jump in its pouch. It's gonna fuck you up. Then,
hey, the kangaroos
be on your way.
Like the box, dog. They like the box.
Kangaroos, they beat your ass, man.
I know. I done seen some wild National Geographic videos, but like, I get it. You got the draw. You got through to the knockout round, but to me, that was such a moral victory, and moral victory.
And the thing is, too, Lamar, like they were expected to get out of this round. This is not a shock.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to really fucking wild out about. You know what I mean? Like, you were unimpressive. Yeah, you moved on, but you were unimpressive.
But I think that's where the story is at, MJ, is that they didn't look good. They looked terrible.
Yeah.
They did not look like a number one team. And that'll get you put out in a heartbeat. But it's one of those things where when you're the number one ranked team in the world, moral victory shouldn't even be in your category, shouldn't be in your thought process. It shouldn't even what's a moral victory? It shouldn't even be in your vocab at all. You shouldn't even know what it is. Like that's why I think a lot of people are missing a point here. And this is supposed to be a winning team. They're not looking like it. Like, and so I equate this to this. So if Michael Jordan talks basketball and has an opinion on a certain basketball subject, I would listen to him.
Yeah.
Same reason I'm listening to Alexi Lawless and Carly Lloyd say their thing, say their criticism of the team, because they've been there, they've done that, they've been in that game, they've been in World Cups, they understand the magnitude.
They've been playing soccer, longer than some of these girls been alive.
Yeah, so why would you discredit their opinion and criticism of what they saw? That's what they saw. That's what I saw. That's what a lot of people saw. I've been hard to find anybody in any social media network go and say, "Oh man, I've been so impressed by the U.S. women's group play." No, if they are, they're blind as hell. Blind as hell. So I mean, to me,
listen, I got people that are rooting against them for the shit they've things they've said, the things they back, things they do,
Yeah, I don't get into that point. I don't get into that crap. I keep sports and try to keep.
I try to do the same thing. Like I whatever. Everybody's entitled to their fucking opinion, and most people's opinions suck, just like a lot of my opinions suck. It is what it is.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to opinion.
Yeah, it's how I feel, it's how you feel, or next guy, next woman.
Yeah.
And that's it, man and woman.
When it pertains to the actual sport of what they've been doing over there in the World Cup, it just ain't been pretty. And I don't know. I don't even know how they're gonna, bounce back for this, but they got to do it quick. I believe a knockout game is Sunday. So they better figure something out, and they better do it quickly. And speaking of women, and is not in that type of way. What I'm saying is, we're gonna switch gears. The NFL, they revised policy to expand penalties for sexual assault offenses. MJ, how long have we been crying about this? Well, not necessarily crying, but we've been hollering at the NFL to do better at this, right? I mean, we've been saying it
as long as I've been following you guys. When y'all guys first, I think I first started. I think January 2022 was when I first joined. I don't know how much earlier you guys were on.
Yeah, but
that's when Nick invited me, to join the group, and I started off listening to you guys preaching it, and then you had me on time to time. I've spoke on it. Then you got me on your show, full time at night now. We have spoke on it on here.
Yeah.
Like now you want to try to do something about it?
Well, it's weird because I've been because we're in episode 350, right? I've been talking about this since I was on a late night show when the Deshaun Watson stuff started breaking out. So I've been speaking on this for a minute. I've been speaking on it, even like you said, when you joined it, we've been speaking about it with the whole situation down in Washington and Dan Snyder, and we even talked about
Jerry Jones with the allowing the pictures to be taken, things like that.
He's the next one. That shit. Never mind. That's another show, another conversation.
Robert Kraft.
Hey, yeah, another conversation, another show.
You know what I mean? Like the list goes on.
Hey, trust me, I'm right there with you. But we'll park that and put a pause on that conversation and hold it for a later date. TBD.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But we've been talking about it, and then we brought it up even more when you're seeing all the punishments for gambling and how they're so severe towards the players. So right here it says the first violation of sexual assault involving physical force or committed against someone incapable of giving consent or involving threats or coercion will result in a suspension of 6 games without pay with possible upward or downward adjustments based on any aggravating or mitigating factors, according to the policy which was obtained by the Associated Press on Tuesday. Nothing in this provision precludes the disciplining officer or commissioner from imposing a suspension without pay of 6 games or more, including an indefinite suspension for other types of prohibited conduct. The policy states a second violation will result in banishment from the NFL. Adding the terminology involving threats or coercion and expanding possible aggravating factors to now include a pattern of conduct in all season that in offenses that involve planning. It comes 1 year after Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson was suspended 11 games for violating the personal conduct policy after being accused by more than 24 women of sexual assault and sexual misconduct during massage therapy sessions. Watson was initially suspended 6 games by a disciplinary officer who pointed out limitations in the league's policy. The NFL sought a minimum 1 year suspension. A settlement was reached after the league appealed the initial ruling. What's crazy to me, MJ, this is only referring to players. And that's what's weird about this policy. Hey, you know where I'm getting at, right? So, so NFL, look, by all means, I'm happy that you're actually taking action. So I will say this. I'm happy that you're finally taking action. And you're trying to get, more stiffer penalties when it comes to, assault of sexual cases. Thank you. Took you long enough.
Yep.
Took you long enough.
Took how many women?
Thank you.
Women to go through this shit.
Oh, thank you, MJ. That's why you my boy, dog. That's why you my boy. Because my thing is, that's the first thing that went into my head is like, how many more women must become victims for y'all to actually start holding the people who provide y'all content, hold them accountable? How many more? How many more did it have to take y'all to finally say, hey, I think we need to get this under control? You should have done this years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. Like, what the hell took so long?
You saw that video that I sent you after Daniel Snyder sold the team?
About your friend. Yes.
Yep.
I saw that. Yep. Reach out to her. Let's see if we can get her on the show, because I definitely want to, just praise her for being, strong enough to, be a whistleblower in that situation and having the, the testicular fortitude to call wrong is wrong, even when, she was going to get doubted and not believed. And I think that's a problem. And we talk about it all the time. Sports and real life kind of mirror each other. They're parallel to each other, and there's certain factors that kind of bleed into each other. But in this situation, like, come on now, like, we can't keep treating the women who like your sport, want to participate and be consumers of your sport. And that's the biggest thing. Women are such consumers of the sport. Like, the numbers are increasing year by year. And you can't even, like, show enough, moral fortitude to be like, hey, man, we can't keep having our players wilding and acting like this. Like, you got to hold them accountable. But when I say, like, this policy sounds like it's only pertaining to players, this is what trips me out, MJ. We talk about owners that have shown disgusting behavior too. Why isn't this policy expanded beyond the players? It should be expanded to anybody that's under contract or receives any type of payment from any NFL club. There's 32 of them. If you get a paycheck signed over to you for your work for that club under the NFL umbrella, you should all, from all the way up from owner all the way down to the water boy, you should all be held accountable to some type of policy to make sure that your behavior is of that of outstanding citizens. Like, I'm happy you taking 2 steps forward, but you still taking a couple steps back, NFL. You can't just limit this policy just to the players. The players aren't the only one that have, you know, bad judgment behaviors and do wrong things off the field. They're not the only ones. If that was the case, Dan Snyder wouldn't have to sell his team, right? If
Correct.
that's the case. I mean, you ousted John Gruden for some stuff, and you did it with and you only did it because you was protecting what you was finding about the Washington club and stumbled upon his shit. That's the only reason why. And you deflected on what the true investigation was about. So I mean, it's come on, NFL. Man. And I'm so passionate about this because I have now 3 daughters. All right. I am a girl dad through and through. And there's going to be a day that I want my girls to go to a Chiefs game with me. Hell, I would love it if they could work for the Chiefs organization. But if they were to happen to work for any other NFL organization, regardless if it was the Chiefs or not, I would want them to be working in an environment where they don't have to worry about being harassed, being assaulted, just because they're a woman. I want them to have the same liberties and freedom and respect as any other male colleague in the building. Like, that's why I'm so gun-ho about talking about stuff like this, because it matters. Because once the game is over, everybody goes back to their real life. But there's some things in real life you can't shake because of things that happen to you because you was around the game. Like, to me, that's nuts, man. I just, come on, NFL. Come on, let's do better. But I applaud you at least trying to, but you still got to do more. Still got to do better. You still got to, expand this punishment rules beyond just the players. Players aren't the only ones that have discrepancies off the field. I don't know, man. How you feel about the NFL policy and the revisions that they got over there, man?
Oh, sorry. I was just texting. I was messaging my friend real quick.
Okay.
Give me 2 minutes. Let me finish this.
Nah, do your thing.
But it's, listen, man. Second time you're gone, right? You said.
Yeah, they said it.
Termination.
Banishment from the NFL.
Okay, so why is 6 games the first punishment? First punishment should be a year, right? At least a year. What's 6 games? And then the next violation is you're gone for life. That's a big jump right there. It's either put the hammer down the first time.
So they get the message. Yeah.
6 games ain't a hammer.
I'm with you.
If you really have zero tolerance towards women or any domestic violence situation, whether it be the roles reversed, woman beating up the man, whatever it may be, you got to drop the hammer the first time. You got to let them know, like, listen, man, we ain't playing around.
Yeah.
We mean business. We are a business, and we want to keep our business clean. We have no tolerance for this shit in our league. We'll give you, I mean, even if you think about it, Lamar, like, one time is maybe too much.
I'm with you.
So, the more I'm thinking about it, it's like you're letting them off the first time. Like, listen, like, you could assault a female, or male could or a female could assault you, and we'll suspend you, the first time. We'll allow it the first time. But if it happens the second time,
you gotta go.
Then you gotta go.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The more I'm thinking about that, it doesn't sound right. If you're gonna have zero tolerance, you know, and you know what? And I wouldn't jump the gun either. You know what I mean? You gotta, you know, let's say something comes out, you can't. I wouldn't say like immediately suspend them until everything comes out.
What?
You know, because you know, shit could come out and say like, you know, oh, you know, Wildcard Mar was smacking.
Don't use me for an example. I ain't doing
that. You know, Willie Nelson. You know, Willie Nelson was smacking Dolly Parton around. You know what I mean? And right away you want to jump on Willie. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, he's fucking putting his hands on his woman. You know, beating her up. You know, da da da. So everybody's against Willie, right?
Yeah.
But then come to find out, you know,
something else. Yeah.
Dolly smacked him with those, you know.
Hey,
and
here's a good example that I think you're going at. Tyreek Hill. So he was suspended in, I think it was 2018, 2019. Well, he had the case in the offseason, and they were waiting on more of the facts to come out, more evidence, and comes out that he did none of the such of abusing his child and nothing like that. It was just a sour baby mother. Okay. Now, I know cases like that happen where more information comes out and everything that's reported initially isn't the actual true story. That happens, yes. So in this case, I get what you're saying, but what they should do if they're talking about, you know, DV cases, assault or the sexual content, I think you should remove the player, you know, with pay until you get all the facts, and then come down with the actual suspension till you get all the information gathered and you have an actual verdict. Like if there's criminal charges dropped, then you do what you need to do. But it sounds like they're only making this policy off of just, you know, the fact that it can be if it's dropped upon your name without, you know, further information, or if there's a guilty verdict, because you're kind of using the Deshaun situation, and he wasn't found guilty by a grand jury. No charges were brought upon him, but they're using the civil cases against him, and because he pleaded it out. And the thing is, with civil cases, it doesn't make you necessarily guilty. It doesn't necessarily make you innocent neither. But you know, there's no time served. There's no prison, you know, vacations. Ain't none of that. At that point, it's how much money you gonna pay. How much are you gonna get financially punished? And unfortunately, in Deshaun's case, it's also a image punishment, because now he has to work to clear his image and clean up his image and make it seem like, oh, well, that's not necessarily me. That's just a civil case. Like, don't judge me off of that. So I'm cool with the NFL removing a player or a coach or owner or whatever, and kind of letting them be on ice for a minute till you find out the true, you know, all the findings, and then make your punishment. But where I 100% agree with you at, if he's found guilty or whatever, or dealt with anything, and it comes out that he is wrongfully doing something wrong, 6 games is, like you said, what the hell is 6 games? 6 games?
And with the contracts these guys, you know, have, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, 6 games is going to be a decent amount, but when you're making fucking, let's say, $30 million a year, as you know, like Tyreek Hill, $30 million a year right now with Miami.
Yeah.
He loses 6 games. He's only losing what?
Maybe 5 mil, maybe.
I was just thinking, like, he'll be
yeah.
He'll lose like
My math ain't that good on the fly, but it substantially is not anything that's going to deter him from doing it again.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because you get to come back. You get to come back and play football after 6 games. So what? You missed the first 6 games of the season. There's 11 more games you get to play. That's not really a punishment. That's not really you know, scaring players off from doing anything wrong. So I'm with you on that. I just I don't know, man. I'm not feeling the lax punishment on the first violation. Now I'm with the second one, banishment from the NFL. I'm cool with that. Like if you got a habitual problem and pattern, hey, by all means, But the fact of the matter is we shouldn't get to violation number 2. It's because you should handle it and put the hammer down on violation number 1. If you do that, we ain't having a conversation about what they should do at violation number 2. It shouldn't even get to that point. Hopefully, if you scare them bad enough, they won't do it again. I'm pretty sure Calvin really won't bet again. He just served the whole year. Yep. He served the whole year. I'm pretty sure he won't be making no bets or violating the gambling policy again. He just had a whole year of not getting paid, a whole year away from the game. So I mean, it's to me, it's you got to take it a step further. DGD podcast, what's happening? Them Georgia dogs, okay? What's going on with you? What's happening with you, man? Y'all might mess around and 3-peat. I mean, you're already on a 2-peat. Why not? Go ahead and 3-peat that gang. So I
tell you what, man, they got a very, very good possibility. Georgia runs deep, man. Georgia runs fucking deep.
Hey, as a Missouri Tigers fan, I'm in the SEC.
And as a Florida Gator fan,
yeah, y'all beat up on both of us every year. So we see how good that the Georgia team is good every year. I mean, y'all keep pretty much sending all your defense into the NFL draft in the first 2 rounds, and then you mess around and have a top 5 recruiting class every year. So all you do is replenish every year. So I mean, it's kind of hard not to say that Georgia isn't the favorite. I mean, I can't. I watched that game too. Now we was hanging in there with y'all, but then when the rubber met the road about fourth quarter, man, we didn't have enough juice to hang with y'all. So I mean, and
there was only 9 toes to the pavement. That's why. Maybe if they had the full 10 toes, they would have been,
You ain't shit for that.
Knocking them off.
You ain't shit for that, dog. Oh, that's funny. Inside joke, y'all. Don't mind us. But no, I mean, Georgia definitely got it. He said, try telling people Malachi Starks making that tackle to save the touchdown was the play of the season for us. But here's a good thing: players play, and big time players show up when it matters, man. And y'all got a boatload of big time players that show up. Only thing I say about Georgia, man, y'all got to get y'all players under control with the little lead foot. Y'all got a little situation where everybody feel like speeding. Being speed demons and NASCAR drivers down.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy how many people.
Yeah, it's been
from
multiple.
That from that program or from that university. It keeps happening to.
It's been multiple.
Y'all didn't learn the first 1 or 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man. Like, get your shit together. I understand you're college kids, but come on, man. You're gonna kill yourself. If not you, others.
He says, question for MJ, thoughts on merch so far? You know who merch is? MJ?
I know who merch is.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea who merch is. No. Nah. So, Graham? Oh, are you talking about teams on Florida? MJ's just he's a Florida Gator. I don't even know if he knows who the hell is on the team. You don't even know who is on the team, man. You just root for
Not yet. Not yet. I'm still in. What I'm in.
Oh, see, look, even my man knows. Says the quarterback from Georgia. Hey, man. Hey, you got to understand. MJ is so entrenched in baseball season right now. He's still kind of heartbroken that his Yankees still at the bottom of the division. So You got to give him some minutes. Give him about round.
Dude, listen, bro. Don't be throwing shots at me because look at your team's in last place too, bro.
Hey, we
your team's in last place too.
Supposed to be.
I'm not heartbroken, bro. It's just aggravating. You know what I mean? Like I take it for what it is, man. It's heartbroken? Nah, just aggravated. It's just amazing. Like I don't want to get off topic. About the Yankees. You know what I mean? Like it's just amazing. Like who they roll out there, and they can't fucking hit the goddamn ball.
Well,
like,
I mean,
everybody forgot how to hit the ball. Everybody.
I mean, we can stick on baseball to close out the show because for the last 15 minutes. But I'll say this: I watched the end of that game against the Rays tonight. You had two guys on base, and you had Stanton up at the plate, and he's threw him right by him. He couldn't do nothing. He couldn't do nothing. Braves can hit the ball. Kind of had a cool down period after the All-Star break, but they slowly starting to get back. They made a couple of trades. Speaking of trades,
and just to touch on this other kid, I'll be getting into my Florida Gator football in about a month. As soon as the season starts about to be roll around, that's when I'll be more in tuned. But for now, I'm just I'm stuck in my baseball. That's that.
Nah, I'm with you, bro. But it's crazy because trade deadline came and passed. And as the Astros, as Valdez throws a no-hitter tonight, they add another pitcher who's that's not no stranger to Houston. They acquired Justin Verlander. I mean, whew, my boy.
They wanted to keep him to begin with. They never wanted them to let him walk, but
they got him right back. They got him right back.
At least they got Houston's number 1 and number 4 prospects.
Hey,
they didn't get no fucking pitching. The Mets are loaded at like shortstop and second baseman, but they don't have no pitching in the goddamn minors.
And I agree with you on that, but
you traded away your closer from this year, and your two best starters, and you didn't get like no pitching in return. What are you gonna replace them with? And you still paying a big chunk of their salary next year.
Yeah, but look at it this way, MJ. What they're doing is they're setting themselves up for the future, which I
get it.
But I'm with you. I mean, what's the point of getting players right now just gonna help you lose some more? They just lost on the balk-off to the Royals tonight. You know what I'm saying? In extra innings.
Booyah.
So when you're losing
was it Bobby Witt?
I can't recall. I just saw the quick clip before we got on there. But when you got a team that's going nowhere and you're gonna get players in return for for 2 aces that you just traded away, I mean, it's all you're doing is just getting them, playing time. It's not going to matter for anything. They're not going to win that division. They're not even going to make the playoffs. So, I mean, I understand where you come from, but I see what they're doing. Yeah. Double J, what's up? What's happening? So they're not doing anything that's going to help them this year. They're going to do things that's going to help them down the road. And that's the only option that they got, because even with the players that they traded away, they didn't do shit. So they had to go. They had to go and get pieces that's going to help them in the future, because ain't nothing helping them this year. I don't care how good Pete Alonso plays. And can I talk about Francisco Lindor? Like, wasn't this guy, like, before he was in a Mets uniform, was a AL MVP candidate just about every year? What happened to him?
All-Star, I think 3 straight years. I think it was 17, 18, 19. I think he was All-Star, and then, bro, he cannot play in New York. I mean, he's handled the press very well because he's taken accountability to everything. But he just
whoa,
forgot that.
Hold on. I remember him and Javi Baez was over there.
That's why Javi Baez,
they was hating
was
on
also a big egged him on too. A lot of that shit. But he always has come out and say like, listen, man, it's on me. I played like basically I played like shit tonight. And I take responsibility for that. He has been doing that quite often.
I get you.
With that being said, you signed Scherzer and Verlander.
Yeah.
You're getting, you have a 2-year window with them.
Yeah.
And you gave up on them after 4 months.
Yeah, because the team's trash, bro. Yeah. And not only did
but the thing is, they needed hitting. They went into the season knowing they paid all that money in pitching. They had no hitting going into the season.
Because they thought they was going to get production from Lindor. And if
you had production, I mean, Lindor's driving in runs, but his average sucks. His average is like 213, but he drives in runs. Big deal, though. I mean, that's the only trade-off. But outside of him and Alonso, up and down that lineup, there's no protection anywhere.
Yeah.
Which they finally got Alvarez, who's been fucking, hitting the ball like he's hitting the juice. You know what I mean? and it's good to see from a young dude. They got something with him, but they didn't have him for half the season. But the rest of that lineup, Brandon Nimmo, he's a solid player. He does his job. Jeff McNeil, decent. Yeah. But Marcana didn't do shit. Starling Marte hasn't done shit. They got Vogel back off the bench, ain't done shit.
Sterling Marte is a big disappointment. Oh my goodness.
Navarez off the bench. I think he's like their backup catcher. He ain't done shit. Then you got the polar bear.
Yeah.
He's been on ice.
But because he got no protection.
That's the point I'm saying. Like they assembled this team.
Yeah.
They assembled this team without assembling a lineup.
Yeah. Let's listen to what Max Scherzer had to say.
The team is now kind of shifting vision and that they're looking to compete now for 2025 and 2026. And that 2024 it was not going to be a reload situation in New York, and that it was going to be more of a transition in 2024, and that they're we're looking to make decisions for to compete outside my contract window. I said, okay, that's a brand news to me, different than what I'd ever heard out of Steve's mouth. I was like, all right, I got to hear this directly from Steve. So I had a phone call with Steve, and he basically articulated the same vantage point, that was the new vision for the Mets. That was the new timeline that they were identifying, and that players that were under contract for next year, that they could be potentially sold off at the deadline right now, and that the team could be really flipped around at the deadline, as we speak. And so once it became official, that's the vision for the Mets. Then I said, yes, I will waive my no trade clause underneath those pretenses.
Yeah. So there it is. And that's Max Scherzer giving that explanation right there. And yeah, that's a point right there too, Jay. Marlins and Phillies both got better with some trades. So you see Marlins, Phillies make moves to get better. Braves made some moves to even be even better. And the only team that was really, downtrodden was the Mets in that division. So they had to. I understand. I'm okay with them changing up the direction of the team before the deadline. It's okay. And the reason why I'm okay with it is because when you realize you ain't doing shit, you ain't going to win. I ain't mad at Max saying, "Hey man, get me the hell up out of here." I ain't mad at
which I understand, but think about this, Omar.
Mm-hmm.
A payroll of like 360 or so, right? Somewhere in that neighborhood. You were all in, at least for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
and you punted away the next 2 years after 4 months.
Yeah.
So, what changed between now and then?
The record.
But this is who they fucking rolled out there. Like, this is the team they rolled out.
I hear you.
And you know, and you did nothing to fix the offense. The offense is the problem. Offense in the back end of the bullpen. It wasn't so much Scherzer. Verlander's been coming around. You know, they got Quintana back off the IL.
Yeah.
They got, you know, Cookie Carrasco. You know, so they got a decent rotation. They would, you know, they did have a decent rotation. They just could never hold on to leads or score runs.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the two issues.
Yeah.
And you got rid of your two best pitchers for a bag of peanuts, one or two good prospects, and you still gotta fucking pay them.
Yeah. I mean,
crazy. It's unbelievable what the Mets did.
Well, that goes back to what we said last night. When you can't buy a championship, and you said it yourself, you've seen your Yankees do it all the time, and they just haven't panned out sometimes.
Yep.
So I'm okay that they came to the realization that, hey man, we paid all this money for these players to bring them in, and it just ain't happening. And it might, like you said, it might not necessarily be them. It might not be Scherzer or Verlander that are the cause on why they stink. But the fact of the matter is you can't sit there just bleeding money at a product that's not going to win, because even if they kept everybody, you probably would have had the same result next year. And then
that's keeping everybody. But I'm not saying they should have. They should have upgraded the lineup. They should have upgraded the bullpen. And they should have fucking made a run for it over the next year or two.
They also was betting on Diaz being there too at the back end. And
but they had Robertson who was doing a damn good fucking job.
Yeah.
So you really weren't missing Diaz too much. No. At least you had him to back you up.
Yeah. Hey,
my good friend that I hang out with, you know, all the time, Carlos, you know, big listener. I've talked about him on the show before. He usually listens in the morning, you know, on his way to work. He'll listen to the replay. Me and him been talking over the last few years that, you know, they've always had a decent rotation, but what's been the problem? You can't score runs and you can't hold the lead.
Always been that problem.
And they've not done anything to upgrade that. They went out and got Marte.
Yeah,
he wasn't a different maker. They went out and got Kana. He ain't done nothing. They went out and got Vogelbach. He ain't done nothing. Who else they got over there? They had Guillorme for a little while. I think they still got him. You know, so they went out and got these guys, but they didn't go out and get that impact player that you needed behind Alonso in that lineup.
I'm with you. And that's been a problem.
That was the problem with the Mets.
I think that's been a problem since you remember when they had Steven Matz, Thor, Noah Syndergaard, and DeGrom. They had all three of them on the rotation, and all of them were pitching damn near.
And Harvey.
Harvey. And Matt Harvey. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yes. It was the four of them. They had literally their whole rotation locked. And what was always their problem? They couldn't get run support, and they couldn't get runs on the board, and they was their home run or bust, and then they would always lose. So then it's been a problem for years. So to your point, I'm with you. They should have took care of this problem 5-6 years ago. They just haven't taken care of it.
Even this offseason, like, you know, you went out and got Verlander. That's all well and great.
And Scherzer.
But you did they had Scherzer last year.
Yeah.
But over the last 2 years, you went and got them two, but you have not done anything else to help the team.
Yeah, you gotta have
you got role players and veterans that come off the bench. You didn't go and get bona fide starters that could really make an impact on your team.
No, I'm with you. It's been
Marte. Like I like Marte. He's a nice player, but
he ain't consistent.
Is he a difference maker?
Nah,
absolutely not.
I seen him strike out a lot of times in clutch moments, but hey, that goes to tell you can't buy a championship. You got to build a team. But hey, man, we're gonna set the door on that one.
I just want to touch on Italy Jet, real quick. Gino's comment when he said about Yankees and Red Sox only making one move. Yeah. The thing with the Yankees, listen, the way the way Michael Kay kind of put it, I was listening to his show earlier, and he said, basically, Steinbrenner is saying, like, listen, we're paying you guys this money, do better.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. Like, they weren't gonna risk the farm for rentals, to make a run. Like, they got a high payroll right now. They're not gonna do what the Mets did. They're gonna keep the guys they got. They're not gonna trade away these, their starters for nobody in return, and then be forced to play guys in the minors that shouldn't be in the majors.
True.
Yankees aren't going to do that. So they stood pat. They picked up two relief arms, but I mean, will it help? Maybe a little bit, but definitely not a difference maker.
Nah, y'all got an uphill battle, bro, to even get in the wild.
I mean, I see that. I have seen that for quite a while now with them.
Yeah,
it's kind of like I said. I said it earlier. It's aggravating to watch at times, man. It really is.
Yeah. The good thing is, you guys are only 3.5 back on the wild card. The problem is, you got to leapfrog Angels, Mariners, Boston, and Toronto to get there. That's the only issue. That's the only issue.
You ain't jumping nobody if you can't win no goddamn games.
Hey,
so
can't leap if you can't jump, right?
Because you know what they say.
Hey, man. Nah, but we gonna shut it down, man.
See what that says, right?
What, around and find out? Yeah, fuck around and find out. Yeah.
Got the little bump in the A, yeah.
Yeah.
You find out.
Hey, man, that's what it is. But we gonna shut it down, man. I appreciate everybody tapping in, showing some love, showing support. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with us. I.O.W Sports Network on the Facebook, Instagram, most importantly, the YouTube, where all the content is at. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification, let you know every time we drop new content. I.O.W Sports 1 on Twitter. Let's give a shout out to Let's Talk Sports. Shout out Sideline Sports. I also got to always shout out my brothers from another mother, 613 Freight Productions, D&K Sports Podcast, Man Down Sports, man. It's a lovely, lovely situation going on around here. But hey, on behalf of Wildcard Mar, that's Jersey Boy MJ. You see us. You can tap in with us. Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar. Tap in with MJ, Jersey Boy MJ, and that's Jersey with a Z on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
That's where you can find us and talk and chop it up, talk sports. But until then, we're going to catch y'all tomorrow. Let's get over that hump on that Wednesday and come back for another episode of I.O.W Sports Late Night Owl Edition. We out here. Peace and love, y'all.
Silent Hill TD, yes. Hitchhikers.
Yeah, smoking so much dope, I'm seeing traces. Visual lasers, load across the scene is dangerous. Aggressive like behavior, couple monsters for my neighbors. Resisting human nature, persistently getting greater. Bloodshed like the Terminator. Fire up the green, I need it, increase the dopamine. Feel better, so I kill better. Doped up for cocaine. Roaming like I never had a home, so I'm all alone. Smoking bones down the chromosomes till the filter's gone. Suffocating under heavy pressure, the signature marks are the cornerstone of a nigga that's ready to spark. Like the pathway through the treacherous